a child into a school, what is our purpose? Why are we sending him to or her to school? What is the basic thing? Get education. What for? Knowledge. What for? Money, better life. What for? To attain happiness. And you are out of college, right? Out of school. All of us would be looking to get into, yeah, when we enter into college after school life, we all want to enter into IITs, right? NITs or medical colleges like myself and my friend Madhuban Prabhu, right? We all hanker thinking that when we are out of these colleges, we'll be happy. And then we look for jobs, and we are looking for jobs for money, and money will give us honey. That is, we now understand where is that honey. That is why we are all laughing because there is no honey in money. Unfortunately, yeah, it was a wrong thinking. So every one of us is doing something or the with a purpose to be happy. The basic thing, right? Which drives us. You get up early, or some people I go to, I met many people. They say Saturday is also working for us. Many IT people, like I was surprised, like even Saturdays is working, and we work late night. We don't have time, and both husband and wife are working. We don't have time. What for? They thought that by working in Cognizant, TCS, they will be, but they don't have time for themselves. They don't even have time to cook nice food. That is why most of us go to Asha tiffins, right? Most of us go to Asha tiffins because we don't have time to cook, right? So our life has become so busy. How can we be happy, right? When we are so busy, we think, right? So we think buying this house, buying this home will give us happiness, right? Buying this car, buying this bike, buying this t-shirt will give us happiness. But alas, no. Let's do a more objective analysis of what's going wrong. Where are we going wrong, right? If at all. So, the basic needs of human beings, right? See, we are doing so many things that the purpose is to be happy. And we will be happy if our basic needs are met, right? There are so many basic needs, right? For example, physical need. What are physical needs? You need clothes, you need a house, you need shelter, right? Then we talk about psychological needs. Psychological, like you need friends, right? You need people to be around to share things with you, right? And emotional need, what are emotions? The titles, manager, senior manager, this gives us a kind of honey which is virtual. We are living in virtual world. COVID is world of virtual living, virtual working, virtual marriages, right? Went for lunch. Yes, when we talk about team meetings, right? So I also work in a corporate, right? So we talk about, and what will they do? We send lunch boxes to their house. Everyone will be on Teams and they'll be eating. So this is what, yes, virtual lunch. So the world has become virtual, right? Emotional needs. But is that all in all, or there is something more to it? Are we missing something? Hmm? Because these virtual lunches, these virtual things, these so-called physical, emotional, psychological things are not able to make us happy. Is it fact? Are we not happy? We are happy. We get happiness when we do things, right? But why is Shri God saying that we are not happy by getting these things, by getting job, by marriage, by degrees and all? The happiness we are talking about is long lasting happiness. When we are talking about that happiness, which will not in a second turn into misery, right? You are coming in a good mood, we'll go to ISKCON, and here you met an accident, right? So there you see sort of miseries, right? Now, is there a gap in our approach, right? Because we are all looking for something. There is a philosopher who said, if we are looking for something, and that something is constant happiness, then there should be that thing. If we are searching for something, then it will be there. It is existing. The thing is, we are looking for it. We are looking for the right thing at the wrong place. So here you go. That is end of the session. That's all. We are looking for the right thing at the wrong place. So what we look around ourselves with all these physical, psychological, emotional things, we see there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression. People feel isolated, and some of them you might have seen even end up committing suicide. And we know that it's not people like you and I, normal, super normal people, but personalities who had everything in their life which we cannot dream of. They had everything in their life which you and I cannot even dream of. But why then they end up committing suicide? Why? Because there's something more, right? And what is that more? They are not happy with family, friends, fans, and fame, money. They had everything, right? So let's see. We'll do a root cause analysis, right? We are all from corporate sector, most of us, right? We are all aware of this term RCA, right? When there is a what do you call bug, then you have to find a RCA, root cause analysis. Same with us in pharmaceutical research line, where there is an issue, you know. So I tell you more what we do so you can correlate. I'm a medical doctor. I give paracetamol injections, everything. During COVID, I also help patients, right? And also, in parallel to that, I work in pharmaceutical research company. And before I was in Vrindavan, and I was in Vrindavan because my kids were being homeschooled and they wanted to study in Gurukul. Right? So my wife is a pediatrician and she dropped her job for some time to homeschool our kids. She was teaching them through Bhagavad-Gita and all. And then they decided that they want to pursue something more. So we shifted to Vrindavan so that they can study in Gurukul. Right? So that they can study in Gurukul. And when I was in Vrindavan, people used to ask me, hey, what are you doing here? Have you left everything? They said, no, I'm working. Hey, you are working from Vrindavan? They said, I'm working from home. And they would stare like, what is that? All thanks to COVID. Now everyone knows what is working from home. The second thing, they will ask, what do you do? They said, I'm doing clinical trials. What is this? Clinical trials? And now everyone knows what is clinical trials. All thanks to COVID. Everyone knows we have to have vaccines and everything. So now my task is easy. When I say I work from home and I do pharmaceutical research. Yes. So I'm behind the drugs you are seeing in the market. Right? So we do root cause analysis. So let's all together, IT plus medicine plus others, finance, HR, everyone. Let's together do root cause analysis. Right? Now, here's something more. There is, what is this? But this fish is not in water, right? And you want to feed this fish all the delicacies, right? Will the fish be happy? Why? Yes, because if you want to make fish happy and feed her all the delicacies, then the basic thing is what? The fish has to be in water. Then you can give her all the delicacies. Now, what is water to fish what is water to fish in our lives? What is that? Satisfaction, contentment, right? And from where will it come? Not from TCS, not from Amazon, not from Accenture, not from all the Novartis, Novo Nordisk. I met some of my colleagues from pharma companies when I was distributing card. So not from these things, but from spirituality. So the battery is running low. I think so it may not be connected. If you can, yeah. So yeah. Okay. So this has to be yeah. So what is water to fish for human beings? It is spirituality. Do you understand that? Right? Now let's find out more. You know, when we go, when we are in 10th, 11th, 12th in colleges, we study theory, right? But at the same time, we do some practicals, right? So we try to see what is this? 0 plus 0? 0. Are you sure? The two zeros there. IT people, finance people, HR people giving salaries. Just 0? Are you sure? And one more. The sum of three zeros is not 1000? Okay, so now we have at five more zeros. 0. All of you are saying 1. You need something more. So here, let's do some analysis. Like we are doing RCA, right? So what are those zeros? We are all heroes, so called, but actually within our art we are zeros. Are you sure? You have a very, you are very good in getting good realization, very fast, right? So you have education, right? You have wealth, you have beauty, you have strength, fame, power, influence, and everything. But unfortunately, we're not happy. If we were happy, then we would not feel depressed, anxious, frustrated, isolated. Right? We all go through these things. Maybe not to an extent the people in the US go, you know, which is like I'm a medical doctor and from a pharmaceutical background. So I'll share some of the data with you, right? And it is not secret data. Otherwise, I would not have shared. So, which is the largest market for antidepressant medication? USA. And 50% of Bangalore wants to move to USA. Why? To take antidepressants? No. No, we are smart. We have that one with us, right? If you add one, then every zero adds a lot of value, right? Every zero. And that is, what is that one? That's one is spirituality. If you have that basic thing, the water, right? For the fishes, spirituality for us. If you have spirituality in your life, if you're connected with spirituality, then every add-on, every asset, every qualification, every asset, everything adds on exponential value to your life. Because you have that basic thing which you need to be happy. Why? Right? We have seen in our lives that just a touch of spirituality, just a touch of spirituality in life of people like Mother Teresa and the other person is, what will they do? Both of them. And people like them, they are engaged in charitable services, right? And we superficially understand that these people are satisfied. They have that contentment, right? They look, right? Why? Because they are engaged in so many social philanthropic activities to help society. And those things are coming from, it's like, part of spirituality, right? When you feed a poor, you give some donation, right? These are all things which come from, spirituality. It gives them satisfaction, right? So now please try to understand. If that touch of spirituality can give them this thing, right? Give them satisfaction, give them contentment, then what more? Happiness attained by practicing these things, right? They do selfless service, they help others, right? Then they are free from pride. You saw Ratan Tata was sitting on? No, he's down to earth person, very down to earth person, right? They feel compassionate for people, right? They have compassion. Now, if these things can give, you know, satisfaction to them, then what more, right? Then what more will spirituality give them, give us? They are not, sort of practicing real spirituality. They may not be practicing. It is just superficially they're trying to help people and all. But if we try to understand the basic spirituality, what did Srila Prabhupada said? Who is Srila Prabhupada? Yeah, so you also remember, you have good memories. Wow. So, what did he say? Someone would like to read this? You can we have a mic? We have a mic, right? So, we'll, yeah, you can pass on to someone who would like to. Can you raise your hand who would like to read? Okay. Yeah, someone can read. Sorry.
Every one of us is searching for happiness, but we do not know what real happiness is. We see so much advertised about happiness, but practically speaking, we see so few people, so few happy people. This is because so few people know that the platform of real happiness is beyond temporary things. It is this real happiness that is described in Bhagavad-Gita by Lord Krishna to Arjuna.
Yes, we know every one of us are looking for happiness, but unfortunately, we see so few people happy. And that long lasting happiness we can get from Bhagavad Gita, we can get from spirituality, we can get from devotion. Devotion to God, right? And that is what we call spirituality. Now, real wealth is what gives you happiness, right? And you can be a billionaire, but if you're not happy, if you're anxious, if you're frustrated, then you cannot be happy. And if you cannot be happy, then what can you give to your friends, your family members, to the society, community, and at large nation? Now, what gives happiness is love. What gives happiness is to receive love and to give love. Right? And that is what Bhagavad Gita teaches. Bhagavad Gita is not teaching what you think, hardcore philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to love God. Bhagavad Gita is not teaching that you should be afraid of God. Many people think I should do this because if I don't do it, I'll end up in a problem. See, we are going to temples, we are doing so many so-called spiritual activities. But most of the things we do is out of fear. It's not out of love. Because if you have to love a person, you should know attributes of that person. How that person looks, right? Where does that person live? What does that person likes? All these things are so important. If you don't know, then it is difficult to love a person, right? Before marriage, we all try to meet our spouses, right? Why? To understand each other, to know if we can sync with each other, right? Same is Krishna. If we want to love him, see, you can be afraid of anyone almost every time. But if you want to love someone, you need to know about that person. So that is spirituality, devotion is what gives us that realization of love, of that peace and happiness, that ananda. Bhagavad-Gita gives us that. It opens the door of our love, of our happiness, of our peace for Krishna. And all the anarthas are bad qualities, right? Will be transformed, right? Arrogance too. So, Mataji, here ladies will speak the negative side and Prabhus will speak the positive side to start with. Okay? So, next, all together. And then, revenge and forgiveness. Now, here, we change the sides. Okay? So, gentlemen will speak the quality which we have before we dive deep into Bhagavad Gita, and ladies will speak what do we develop qualities after going through Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So here you go. Indifference. And compassion. We become compassionate. Right? And love. We start loving not only God, but we start loving everyone. Then darkness. Without me pressing the button, you can say light. And then struggle, and then you get peace and happiness. So you get all these things by going through Bhagavad Gita. And in these 9 sessions, you will understand that Bhagavad Gita is not about hardcore philosophy. Bhagavad Gita is cool. Because only thing which is cool, easily understandable, can give these things. Otherwise, see, Krishna will not give thing which is not approachable. So, most of you are from corporate sector, so we have smart goals, right? Smart goals, something which is achievable, right? A is achievable, right? You should give a goal to someone. That goal should be achievable. Otherwise, the person will not even try, right? So, as leaders, we know we have to give approachable, achievable goals. Krishna is a super leader. He knows, he's smart, right? So this basic thing we understand that Krishna is smart, right? He's handsome, right? Yes, he is. So that is why everyone is attracted to him, right? And you know what is the meaning of what Krishna? All attractive, yes. So he's attractive. So if he is attractive, then he has to be approachable. So whatever he speaks is also approachable. It is achievable. Right? Bhagavad Gita is achievable. Something not to be afraid of. Right? So now the goal of this course is, right, to help you understand the divine teachings of Bhagavad Gita, which will ensure you positive, enthusiastic, forbearing, and divine consciousness in the most difficult, trying phases of your life. Because that is where you get frustrated, you feel isolated, you feel anxious, you feel depressed. Then you don't have to come to doctors like us, and then the pharmaceutical industry will go down. Here you go. Jai Jai Shri Gandhika Gita Harina Sanghamar Gaura Chitan Mahaprabhu Jai Hare Krishna. So that is the purpose. That is the purpose of this 9-session course. To give you a nice, positive, forbearing divine consciousness. To the experience you can take home. Right? So that is the background of what we can expect from Bhagavad Gita, why Bhagavad Gita, and how Bhagavad Gita can give us happiness. Now I'll come on the next point, which is background of Bhagavad Gita. And then I will share you something very interesting, which is practical tips. Okay? So before I jump into the background of Bhagavad Gita, many of you would already know the background. It is just like doing a recap, right? Because thanks to Mr. B.R. Chopra, right, we have all seen Mahabharata, right? And Ramanand Sagar also produced Krishna. So these TV serials were famous, right? And they are still famous. And we know a lot about it, right? Superficially for sure, if not in depth, right? So we know about Pandu Maharaj. Who were brothers of Pandu Maharaj? Dhritarashtra and Vidura, right? They were three brothers. Okay? And uh, Dhritarashtra was the eldest, but he was blind only by eyes or also mind also. He was a gone case, right? He should be sent to a psychiatrist to help him, right? Yeah, we will. Yeah. So now what happened that Pandu was a very pious king. He was very pious. He used to love, he was very religious, very spiritual, right? And he would often go to forest. But once upon a time when he went to the forest, right, along with Kunti, Maharani and Madri, right? Does everyone know who Madri is? Right? Madri is mother of. Wow, great. So we have very intelligent audience here. Excellent, right? So when Pandey Maharaj went on because of one uneventful thing, you know, he was cursed, right? And in parallel, in past, Kunti Maharani has received a boon from Durvasa Muni, right? Because she served Durvasa Muni very nicely. So what was the boon? Yeah. So if she prays to any of the demigods, they will bestow her with a child, right? So was born Karna before her marriage because she wanted to test. So one thing we learn is we should never try to test. Whatever is a saintly person says, it's good, but actually scriptures tell us about faith, So we should have faith. Kunti Maharani didn't have so much faith on the words of Durvasa Muni, which is why she tried to test. And then was born Karna from sun god. And thereafter there were three more children to Kunti Maharani. Who were they? Yudhishthira was son of. Very nice, Yamraj. Second, son of Vayudev, right? And then Arjuna was son of Indra, right? So, and then Kunti Maharani also gave that mantra to Madhuri Mataji, right? And then were born Nakulans. They were children of Ashwini Kumars. Very nice, right? And thereafter, Pandu left his body in the forest, and Kunti was left alone with five children. They were very small at that time. And then Kunti Maharani decided that she will go back to the Hastinapur, right? But now she went back to Hastinapur. But how did Dhritarashtra receive them? Was Dhritarashtra happy seeing them? Was Duryodhan happy seeing them? Were all the Kauravas happy? No. Why? Because you already concluded Dhritarashtra was not only blind from eyes but also he was an insane person, right? He was always, see, Dhritarashtra is an example. He exemplifies people of Kali Yuga, people living, you know. He was very ambitious, very ambitious. He was always highly insecure. See, please try to understand. He had everything. Dhritarashtra, he was the king. And his children could have lived happily with five powerful cousins, right? Virtuous cousins, spiritual cousins. No one could have defeated them. But this person, he was not only ambitious, but he always felt insecure. which is why he always was insecure of the cousins. Right? At that time, these brothers were always, in a usual family, they were always together happily. But he poisoned Duryodhana to an extent that Duryodhana wanted to kill these five children. Right? And they planned everything. They attempted how many times to kill them. But Pandavas were always under protection of Krishna. They were always under protection of Krishna. Pandavas faced challenges which we may not even dream of. But who was always with them? Krishna. So do you also want to bring Krishna in your lives? Do you really want? Right? So what does Krishna need? Krishna needs love. Pandavas used to love him so deeply. That is what Krishna needs. Krishna doesn't need anything else. But now here, now if there's someone who comes to me who wants to make me happy, right? And I tell, okay, can you bring a glass of water? The person thinks, no, I'll bring something more for him. And he brings a Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Like when I'm asking for something, they bring that. That's good enough, right? Yes. So Krishna has also, if you really want to love me, you do this, right? And let's see, right? So this coming Dhritarashtra, he was hopeless. He was a hopeless case. It was a case of, one of our colleagues you may see in corporate world. he's a hopeless fellow. Yeah, I'll take. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, Shakuni was also behind, right? So, what we say, so why do we go? You have heard the word of Madirale, right? What is Vidyale, right? These are all Sanskrit words. What do you call library? Pustakale. Why do people go to all these alayas? Because of association. They can better drink, study, do everything alone. But all these evil-minded people got together. Shakuni, Dhritarashtra, poisoned Duryodhana, and Karna. All of them joined hands together. Right? So yes, Shakuni was also. He was very, very evil-minded. He was against the entire Kuru dynasty because of her sister getting married to the but Shakuni could only see the blind eye. He was a party to the gang because he was also insane. So he could only see superficial things, right? We know, see, being blind is not so bad because we know there's so many people blind, but they are very pure from heart. They can just do everything. So the problem with Dhritarashtra was not only blind from eyes, but more than that. So here, these the troubles which Kauravas gave to Pandavas, and who saved them? Krishna, right? Then, when it was like getting too much, they were sent to exile for 12 years. Were they cheated? Were the Pandavas cheated? Right? And then they had to live 1 year incognito. When they did everything, Duryodhana said, no, you are not. You didn't follow the rules. Right? And you will not get your kingdom back. Not only kingdom, what are you talking about kingdom? I will not even give you 5 villages. Krishna said, okay, give them 5 villages. They will be happy. Why? Because they are devotees. They will be just happy with 5. Because they are Kshatriyas, they have to rule over. Give them 5 villages and they will be all fine. So Duryodhana said, I will not give enough land even to the size of the tip of the needle. What are you talking about 5 land or in the trust? And then the war was inevitable. Krishna tried to do everything. And you know what Duryodhana did when Krishna went as a Shanti Dut? as a peace messenger? Yeah, he tried to prison him, put him behind bars, and he didn't know who Krishna is. But all of us know, right? Are you all clear about who Krishna is? We are not from gang of Duryodhana. So we know who Krishna is, right? We already know. So Krishna is the supreme personality of God. He is God, right? The supreme person, the supreme God. Right? Krishna can do everything. And Duryodhana was trying to put Krishna behind bars. Who can bind Krishna? You can, out of love. Do you know an example of someone who bound Krishna out of love? Sudama, Meera, there was literally someone who bound him. Yashoda. There is a Leela known as Damodar Leela. Yashoda Mata. Yashoda is mother of Krishna. She bound Krishna out of love. Only person who loves him can bind Krishna. Right? So, now with that, we come to Bhagavad-Gita. And this is the first verse of Bhagavad-Gita. And I know a person with me who has been with me for last 1 year and he loves reading Bhagavad Gita and reciting verses. He has taken a so-called vow for himself that he is going to learn all the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita by this Gita Jayanti, by December. And that person is our Shanmukh Rao. He's a postgraduate from IIT Chennai. So I request him to recite this verse. Yeah. Please go ahead, Shanmukh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Sanjaya Uvacha. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta-yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
So I would like all of you to clap. Thank you very much, Shanmukh. He recites so nicely, so deeply. He is already in love with Krishna. He's loving Bhagavad Gita. And he's an intelligent person, he knows. So here, this is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled at the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Right? Now we all know what happened after that. Arjuna said, I'm not fighting. Why? They're my family members, they're my friends, they're my grandfathers, they're my grandchildren here, my children are here, my maternal uncles are here. I'm not going to fight. Right? Was Arjuna right in saying that? Wow. All of you say emphatically yes. Are you sure? Emphatically yes? Or you have to be louder if you are sure. Yes. Okay, right. So we will discuss this point if yes is correct or not. This is not today's topic. Right? So, but for that, this will be revealed in next session. Arjuna's anxiety and depression was justified or not. But yes, Arjuna's condition was almost the condition of many of us in the present age. He was depressed, he was anxious, he was worried. What next? What will happen if I fight? Right? And Arjuna was not, so-called person of this age. He was very strong. He was very strong. Not only that he was very strong, he was wise. He had control over him, right? On his senses. He said, I can control the wind, and he could, right? He could fight with demigods, right? Shiva was happy because he saw how powerful he is, right? So then when Arjuna fall into anxiety, that set a good field for Krishna to start speaking the first motivational talk. Why? Krishna had to motivate someone, right? When we talk, right, many of times We try to hear motivational talks. Why? Because we get inspired, right? We get enthused. We want to be motivated. And here is Krishna who gave the first motivational talk. Right? So now, so we will discuss about this topic. Was Arjuna's anxiety correct or incorrect? All of you agree that what Arjuna did was yes, it was right. So again, if you want the answer, you get the answer in the next session. But for today, there's something more. We discussed all about happiness, right? So, and we told you you'll get take-home message, you'll get practical tips, but so far we have not given you anything which you can take home. Yes, we understood theoretically. We understood theoretically that spirituality can give us happiness. We understood that spirituality and Bhagavad-Gita can transform all the bad qualities into good qualities, right? But, okay, what should I do now? What is in it for me? What should I do when I get back to home? Now, Krishna will tell us what to do in Bhagavad Gita itself in 3.10. So, do you think I should again request Sharma Prabhu to recite this verse? Yes or no? Yes. You are loud? Yes, here you go. So, you would like to hear from Sharma Prabhu. Go ahead. 3.10? Yeah. Hare Krishna. सह यज्ञ प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यत्थम् एषवोस्त्विष्टकामधुक्. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. So here Krishna is giving you some practical tips. He's telling you what to do. He's saying in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men. So we were sent here, right? Human beings, along with sacrifice for Vishnu. He said we were sent here to do something, a sacrifice, right, for Vishnu. And bless them by saying, be thou be happy by this sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So for us to live happily, we have to perform something. We have to perform sacrifice, yajna. So yajna, we sometimes when we talk about yajna, the picture which comes in front of our eye is the fire sacrifice. Okay? Okay, let's call a Brahman and we will do yajna. But is there something more? Yes, there's something more. So let's see what it is. Krate yadhyayato Vishnu Tretayam yajato makhe Dwapare paricharyaya Karotad hari kirtana. So here, this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And this verse says, what are the different kinds of yajnas for different yugas, right? So, whatever result was obtained in Satyuga. So, Krate is word for Satyuga, right? Then Treta is word for Treta. Dwapare, you can understand very well, right? Dwapare is there, and then Kali. So, there are 4 yugas: Satyuga, Treta, Dwapare, and for each of these yugas, there is a medication. So when you get disease, when you go to hospital, why? But the medicines are available. You don't know what to use when. That is what is written here. All the medications cannot be taken all the time. If specific disease is specific medication, right? So being a doctor, I'll talk in medical language, right? But you will understand. I'll talk in a layman language. So for Satyuga, there is a process, there is a yajna, which is meditation. Meditation is a process for Satyuga. It will not be applicable for Kaliyuga because you need a life of 100,000 years. 10,000 years minimum meditation. Here, I'm sorry, you don't get the result. You may do, but you will not get the result because you need long time. Treta Yuga, yes. When Ram Bhagwan went to forest, he saw many fires, devotees performing fire sacrifice. Now in Kali Yuga, that ghee you are eating, are you sure that ghee is real? Oh my God, here you go. So you are all sure, right? And you know, they used to burn the sacrificial fire not by matchstick, but by mantras. Can anyone do? That means Treta Yuga medication is not working, right? So now comes the Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar Yuga is worship of deities, right? That elaborate worship of deities is very difficult. Very, you are all aware about Padmanabh Swami, the gold which was found at Padmanabh Swami Trivandrum. That was for Padmanabh Swami. You know how much gold is there. So for why? Because they need a lot of elaborate, paraphernalia to actually rightly serve Krishna in temple. But for Kaluyug, what is there? Kalo Tadhari Kirtana. Kalo Tadhari. Kalo. You have to do what? The chanting of the names of Lord Hari. Okay. I will see if you can do. You will chant along with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the same thing Brahma also told Narad Muni in Kali Santalana Upanishad. So this is a Shruti Shastra Upanishad. And here Brahma is saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Sodasakam Namana, Kali Kalmashanashana, Nata Paratarupaya, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is spoken by Brahmaji to Narad Muni. And what is he saying? These 16 names, composed of 32 syllables, are the only means to counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. If you think taking a medication of Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga will work, it will not work. It will not work. So you have to take medication which is efficacious, which will work in Kali Yuga. What is that medication? It's the names of Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? And in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna said, Sahayagya Pradas Vishwa, Puro Vacha Pujavati, Anena Pasha Vishwatam, Sto Kamadu. By by doing this sacrifice for Vishnu, you can be happy in this world. The sacrifice is chanting of the names of Hari. And let's see if common people or people whom we look up to, have they got something from this mantra. So here is Harikesh Mafatla. See Mafatla. Chanting Hare Krishna has helped me face all ups and downs in my life with great confidence and peace of mind. So here he says. Matatla issue is. And let's see if it is applicable outside India or it's applicable only in boundary of India. What do you think? Everywhere. Yes. If IT people can work everywhere, then mantra can also work everywhere, right? Yes. So she was a Dutch model. And what did she say? This was the model, and after she got taste of spirituality, she is this lady wearing sari, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Chanting helped me give up bad habits. What we talked about Bhagavad-Gita, right? It changed my vision of things, right? And here is a leading Indian industrialist, N.B. Desai ji. I have been chanting Hare Krishna for many years, and I have never found anything more pleasurable. So here we see, again one more example of a designer, June. Chanting makes me more perceptive, more in harmony with everything and everyone around me. I'm not in conflict with them. I'm in harmony. Right? So here, now do you have a medication with you which works in Kali Yuga and which can give you happiness? See, spirituality is the basis. You may have many zeros, but you have to put one. then all these zeros will make sense, right? When I was adding this, all these zeros, some of you said, why don't you add one? Yes, we want to add one. And what is that one? Spirituality is that one. And how do you practice spirituality? Karyo tad Hari Kirtana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. Now you will say, you are sending us home to practice this, but why don't you help us do it? We'll do it. Okay? We'll try it here. Before we send you home, we'll do it. Before that, I'll open the floor for questions. Okay. So I just want to, and we have a mic here, so you can raise your hands if you have any questions, and then we'll pass on the mic to you. Because there are people attending on Zoom also online, so we want them also to hear. Right? So you can raise your hands. I can't believe. No questions. Oh yes, very good. Thanks. Because I thought you have not understood anything. Hello. Oh, thanks. So you can introduce yourself, like you can just take your name.
Yeah, my name is Tirupati Rao.
Thanks.
I have one basic question from the childhood. Later, I realized it. When Krishna knows the Dhritarashtra is not doing good, so why can't that have been corrected that time itself?
Right. So very nice question. See, Tirupati Prabhu knows that Krishna knew everything. Krishna knows past, present, and future. He is Trikanagya. Right? So he knew everything. Right? He knew that what Jarasandha is going to do. He knew what Kamsa is going to do. Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. He is Bhagavan, Swayam Bhagavan. He can do everything. Does Krishna need to come on earth to kill Kamsa, Shishupal, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and Party? He can do it sitting there. But yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharat adhyadhanam madhyasya परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे. Krishna comes for a reason, and the main reason is he has these reasons. Paritrāṇāya sadhūnāṁ vināṣāya ca duṣkritāṁ dharma samsthapanārthāya. Right? These three main reasons. But there is one main reason. If he had killed Kamsa sitting in Golok Vrindavan, then how will he have his leelas, which we can relish? And by relishing those leelas, we will understand who Krishna is, how Krishna is, what does he love, what does he like, what does he want us to do, how does he differentiate between Pandavas versus Kauravas, right? Otherwise, I have seen people, Krishna was wrong in encouraging Arjuna to fight, and we were all in doubt. So, the main reason why Krishna does not do that, he can do undoubtedly, you're right, he can do, but he doesn't do because he wants to set examples, right? So you go on to the next question. I think so. We had a question from.
Hello everyone, myself Gaura. The question is, do we, like as you told, for any problem we can repeat this Hare Mantra. So, is there any specific ways, like okay, in this particular posture, in this particular time?
Yes, that is why we are going to do practicals. We are going to. We are not going to send you home without practicals. See, I am a medical student. Until unless I go to, I play with cadavers. It will be disgusting in this audience. But we as doctors, we play with cadavers. Until unless we don't play, until unless we don't do. We play with heart, liver, and because they have to, their duty, our duty of our professors to make our heart hard so that we don't fall flat seeing the blood. Right? And that is why we need practical. So yes, that is what the purpose of, it's not theoretical, it's practical. We'll really take you through. Right? And I think so we have one question from devotee sitting in the back.
Yeah, hello everyone, myself Sandeepan, and how can we make it a habit, this chanting?
Wow, So it's not just he wants to try, he has gone so far, habit. Yes, So, see, my friend Madhuban Prabhu introduced me, right? That I have been practicing this for last 25 years. That time I was a medical student when we lived in the same room and we were practicing this. So we were studying and practicing. We did our work. We got married, and my wife is sitting here. She's a pediatrician, right? She practices our kids, his kids, every one of us. So, and we are constantly practicing it for the last 25 years, right? And you see that people have some false impression and perception that if you take on to spirituality, you have to leave everything. You have to leave your job, you have to leave your family, you have to leave your friends. No. You are seeing me here working in corporate. You're seeing my family, I have children, I have everything. I have house in Vrindavan, I have a car, I have everything, which you also have. Right? But I have one thing more, which is spirituality. And yes, so one thing which is the most important thing to constantly practice spiritual things is association, right? Which is why we are all together here. Right? So, yes, if we are in association of devotees, if we are in association of like-minded, people, then we can practice this constantly for lifelong. If we are out of association, we fall weak. And that is the most important thing. We have to be in association. See, reading Bhagavad-Gita alone, you can read, but it's not easy. Right? You can understand, but it will be difficult for you to apply. Your mind will go here and there. So we all meet regularly. Right? That is what is going to happen. And that is why you might have seen our volunteers, they call you with family and friends, right? So that everyone can hear how you can be happy. Okay? So, in the interest of time, I'll pause here. What we will do, if you are all fine, we'll conduct an ad hoc session on Wednesday evening just for taking question answers. It will be online. You don't have to come here. We'll send you a Zoom link and then you can come up with all the questions you have. I will prefer having questions related to this session, right? But you can write down, think about it, right? We'll also share the information what we have discussed here with you on our groups, WhatsApp groups. Right? So now let's go on to practicals. Okay, are you all set?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Great. So there are two types of practicals here. One is we'll teach you how to chant on beats. What is this? This is a bag, strange bag, but it is a strange thing. This is a beat, right? So we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra on beats, right? One type of practical. There's one more type of practical, that is we chant while playing musical instruments, while standing and maybe dancing. Would you like to try that? We'll do that also. Okay? So first we'll do the mantra meditation on beats. Our volunteers are going to distribute the beats. In parallel, can you please pass on the mic to Madhukan Prabhu? Madhukan Prabhu will tell us how to do that. You understood why we have to chant, but how is what Madhukan Prabhu he will use his own chanting beats, right? And then he will help you. Okay, over to you, Madhukan Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much, Shiva Prabhu, for wonderful class. And thank you all of you for patiently and actively listening. And when I'm saying Instagram, for 1 hour. Okay, so by the time these all beats are getting distributed, few fundamental, like somebody was asking that, how to change it for your question.
Prabhuji, you can give Vikas Prabhu, you can give the beats to Mataji. Mataji will distribute it amongst them. Ayurveda can also help to distribute. So Mataji can come.
So I think it's Gaura. So Gaura was asking that how to chant. So before we
before we explain that how exactly to chant, in what position to chant, we all need to understand two fundamentals of meditation. Yes. So, in principle, meditation is a cleaning process. Correct. So, why we meditate? Because we want to clean our consciousness, our internal environment, and make ourselves internally better. So, so when we talk about the cleanliness, and we want to add on something into our brains, there are two things which we all should understand. So, all of you have seen one. Uh, in all of our home, there are in kitchen there are some old kadais. Yes, you see, yeah, in restaurants and yes. So what happens that over the years, we keep on using it, correct? It keep on burning and at the halwai shop, mithai wala shop, or at our home and all. So it becomes darker, 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 darker and darker. Yes, but at the core of it, it is clean. Yes, when we bought it, it was clean. It was very neat and clean. Yes. So now one fine morning, some Mataji is at your home during the COVID time when everybody at home tells, okay, let's clean up the old things. Achhi tarah se clean it up. So start cleaning it. So what will happen? Huh? What will happen? So first time, after many years, of say 10 years you are using the kadai and you start putting some wind bar and rubbing it a bit, what will happen? Lot of dirt will come, correct? And after 1 hour of rubbing, you might find it is still same. Black kala hi hai abhi tak, correct? Yes, you might feel like that. But you are also seeing that even though it looks like it is still black, but lot of dirt has gone. Now if you do this exercise for 10 more days, there's a chance that you will be able to see that, oh, there's something really it is clean actually. Okay, so this is one aspect. Second thing is that you have seen this matkas, yes, that old time we used to keep matkas at home. We need to fill this with water and all. So if that matka is completely filled with water, you can't put another glass in it. It will just come out. Whatever you put after that will come out. So when we meditate, you need to take care of these two things. Yes. So one, we need to understand that our heart, our brain is dirty since ages. Yes, because we are interacting with a lot of people. So we need to have a desire to clean that. Because if you don't have a desire, it will not happen. That is the first thought. The second thing is that for next 8 minutes, yes, the exercise what we are going to do, it will take not 8 minutes or maybe 8 minutes 10 seconds. For 8 minutes at least of your life, those 8 minutes you should put your conscious effort to put all your agendas, stories, Instagram, Twitter, finances, whatever that all is happening here, just try to park it somewhere. Just for 8 minutes. Try. If you are actually able to do it for 8 full minutes, yes, you are already a spiritualist. But if you are not able to in those 8 minutes, you have to tell your mind again and again to come and focus. It means you need these 9 sessions. Yes, so that by the time we will cover all the 9 sessions, we will be able to do much better. So it's okay if you are not able to focus consistently for 9 minutes, but try whenever you again become awake. That okay, my mind got distracted here and there, here and there. Clear? So these two principles keep in mind. So when we chant, you all got the beat. Everyone got the beats now?
Yes.
Yeah. So in your beats, you all got the beats, right? Yes. So there is a bigger beat in the middle. Yes. This beat. Yes. We don't use this finger. Yeah. This indicated or finding finger we don't use. We use the thumb and the second finger. Okay. Clear? Yes. And then we for every single beat we'll chant one full Hare Krishna mantra. Yes, so we'll do one try. Yes, all together. Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So try to synergize again once more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is about the pronunciation, that how you need to pronounce. Clear? About the positioning, so as far as possible, try to sit straight with your back straight.
Try to have your
Yes.
back straight.
And when you pronounce, think that whatever voice is coming out of your mouth, it is just coming out and then it is going in your ear. So this is a root, right? So you are speaking, it's coming out, going to your ear, and again it is coming out. So there is a circle, and you just need to focus on this circle. So pronunciation, this sound vibration, you are hearing, giving ear to the sound vibration, and then again it is coming out. Yes, and then bring your mind again and again for next 8 minutes to only on this circle. Just try to forget everything. Yes? So we'll start? Yes? Srila Prabhupada ki?
We usually sing at this mantra which is displayed there, right? So all of us will sing together. Jai
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna. Just a second. I'll request you. We have to chant little. This is that with this speed, it will take 15 to 20 minutes, right? Usually, so this is one thing. We chant little faster, right? And I want you to. I'll chant on mic for 3-4 rounds, and then we can all do on our own. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर Hare Krishna.
So now,
So how was it? Hare Krishna. So this was the practical session, right? This was the first part of the practical session, and it is like there are no hard and fast rules and regulations that you really have to sit like this. But it is the best thing when we are sitting with back straight, focusing, and in association with devotees. So that is the best. Now So I know there are many questions which have come after chanting. Many questions. And that is why we have kept the session on Wednesday. So you bring all your questions on Wednesday. And here, in the interest of time, we'll move here and we have something very, very special for you. And this was the kids' activities. Right? And Prashant Prabhu, I request you to just turn the camera towards the kids who are standing at the back. Or Vaishali Mataji or Priyanka Mataji, you want to bring them here? How do you want to manage?
Huh? Yeah, please bring them here then. So we have kids activities. They did, they started with kirtan. They heard a story. They did some verse memorization, color and drawing, and some stories about the Saptaras, and many more. And we have a team of Mataji, the team of ladies and kids, who help them. So here we go. So let's clap for them. We are also engaging our kids in the speaker activity. Wow, that's good. Very good, very nice. So you can come here. Am I fearful? Come. You can all come. Yeah, so that everyone can see you, right? You please come. Okay, so we have Vaishali Mataji here. Let me pass on the mic. We have one mic, right? Yes. Yeah. Let's pass the mic to Vaishali. Okay, you please, kids, can you please pass the mic to Vaishali and Priyanka? Yeah, you can. Madhavi, you can use the mic. Let's switch on the mic by pressing the gray button there. There's a gray button down there.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. We have so wonderful kids here, and they have learned one shloka of Bhagavad-Gita today. So they are going to recite. Please listen. You have to tell first of all which chapter and verse number, and then start.
Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 9, verse 26. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktya paramam ashnami prayatmanaha.
Now they are going to tell you the meaning of the shloka also.
This means one offers me with love and devotion. You shall take it. This one who offers me with love and devotion,
Hare
They have not only learned the words, but also the meaning. So they are not just parrots, right? And you know what next? They'll then go home and ask all of you to follow it. That is the best thing, right? You learn the words, you understand the meaning, and then you follow it. So many fellows, drawing. Wow. And what is this? What is the drawing?
Now they will tell about it.
Wow. Hare Krishna. This is one of the first avatar, right? Matsya. Matsya was in the form of? Yes, very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you. Anything more, Mataji? Huh? So I like to introduce you to our volunteers because they are not just like, it's not cold calling what they did. It is like they are professionals like you and I, right? They go in corporate world, they have their families, but then they take out time from their busy schedule to call you. Right? So I want to thank Ashish Prabhuji and Nikita Mataji. They are husband wife, top and bottom. Right? So Ashish Prabhu is a director in an IT company. Nikita Mataji is an associate director in the pharmaceutical research company. They can raise their hand. Like Ashish Prabhu is there and Nikita Mataji is here. Right? And then we have Pravesh Prabhu and Ranju Mataji who are not here. They're getting initiation, and that's why they have gone to Delhi. So they are also in IT, and Ranju Mataji works on soft skills and motivation and speech therapy for kids and everyone. We have Abhishek Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji. They're both here in front of us, along with Ayomika, their daughter, who is going to sing for us the Kirtan. She's a very good singer. She's going to sing the Kirtan for all of us. And just after that, and then we had Ayod Prabhu and Gaura Mataji. Like they are also both in IT, PhD in computer science, and they are not here today. Yeah. Oh wow! So we have. Oh, thanks for coming. And Varuna Mataji also. Okay, she's not here. So they all you must have heard their voices when they call you. They send messages to you. But here they are. Dipesh Prabhu, where is Dipesh Prabhu? Oh, Dipesh Prabhu is out of town for 2 weeks. He works for Polycom, in sales. 15, 17 years experience in IT. We have Ankur Prabhu. Again, he's in pharmaceutical industry. He works on data analytics and data management. Shanmugh Prabhu, you already heard him reciting verses. He's a postgraduate from IIT Chennai. He works for Broadcom or Qualcomm. Broadcom. He works for Broadcom, a very senior person, a director. And then we have Ravi Shankar Prabhu and Sujata Mataji. Ravi Shankar Prabhu is here. He again very, in spirituality for long, works for IT company. Then we have Rajesh Prabhu. He's here. He's doing his MTech from IIT Chennai, and he's also working in Qualcomm, right? So I meet a lot of people from Qualcomm and Broadcom when I was on the streets, and they say, many meaningful people. Then we have Sachidanand Vidya Prabhu, who is from IIT Kanpur, and he's not here, he's in Hyderabad, he'll be with us next week. He's currently in Hyderabad. He's practicing spiritual life for almost 15 years and helps in preaching activities. Then we have Sashneshu Prabhu, who is again, in IT industry, has been practicing ISKCON life for 5 years. He's there in Grey Kurta there. And then we have Prashad Prabhu, with us, who works for GE, right? GE Healthcare. And, he's an engineer in medical technology. He manages Middle East. Very busy people, but they take out time. So you have hope. You can practice spirituality. You can not only practice, but you can help others also, right? So you get a lot of time. And you want me to speak on this? No? Okay. So then, this is my wife, Madhvi Radhika, whose legal name is Dr. Mamta Goel. She's a pediatrician and practices spiritual life. She has homeschooled her kids. And you see myself there. Arushi is my daughter. She is in 12th standard. She's back there. And she was taught English language through Bhagavatam, Ramayana, and Bhagavad-Gita. So the English comprehension is very strong. And she's like an encyclopedia of Ramayana. Don't let her ask questions, otherwise, we hesitant. Then Gopal is my son. He helps a lot in activities. He helps us in book distribution and all. And we have Madhukant Prabhu with us, who is my friend and colleague, and everything. I will pull him in for everything, and he pulls up for everything. So this is the team. And so I want to thank all of them from my heart. Without them, it would not have been possible. And there's some more behind this, which is the core team, which consists of Harishev Prabhu, Sudhir Gopal Prabhu, Kartikeya Prabhu, Arjun Sada Prabhu, Koti Shashi Prabhu, and many other devotees who are behind me also, who push me and guide me and help me in my own spiritual life. So, we have a very strong team. And what are these ladies doing here? They are distributing prasadam. So now we have some services, like we'll be distributing prasadam just after Aarti. So if anyone is interested in distributing or taking any services, just let us know. And today's prasadam has been sponsored by someone, right? But the person has said not to reveal my name. Anonymous donor, he has donated us 5,000 rupees. So give big clap for them, right? So here we not only have services, physical service you can also donate if you want for prasadam for everyone, right? And next is we are also starting something for youth boys, right? Unmarried boys from the age of 15 to 35, starting from 8th May every Sunday. 8th May every Sunday for youth unmarried boys. So if someone is interested, please contact us, right? We'll have very good program for them, very systematic, logical presentation at their level, right? So that will be very helpful. And now we go to much awaited what? Aarti. Right? So what we need to do is we can all stand up, remove the mats, so we will have some volunteers who will help remove the mats, and we will have Ayon Vijaya, Mataji, and her team. Ayon Vijaya is also in 12th standard, so you all look forward to her. Hare Krishna.
We are broadcasting live.
Okay, fine. And that's okay. It's yours basically. It's yours, na? Ah, that's okay. Keep it here. Why was this? इसको लंबा कर दो, लंबा कर दो, ऐसे लंबा कर दो। एक मिनट रुको मत।
Hare Krishna. So what we are going to do is, left hand side the gents can stand, right hand side Matajis can stand, and while the aarti is going, we'll also have you offer flowers, right? So you just go to the altar, near the altar, and we'll have you offer flowers. Right? So you can offer something to Krishna. So Mataji is towards, you can come here. The gentleman can, gentleman can go towards the left side. You all can come here, right? So you all can come towards the left side. And yeah, you can come inside. Everybody face towards altar. Everybody has face towards altar. And you just be on the fence, from this can be on the left side. Hare Krishna. So yeah, you all can go there. Please towards the left side. Mataji can come. Yeah, please come. Yeah, just stand with. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.